So we've built, I would say, a complete API from scratch. I mean, we've added controllers, we've seen repositories, we've seen the service layer, we've done validation, and we've gone all the way to security as well as mediator and fluent validation pipeline. And I think it's time to make it production ready by securing and using JWT Authenticate. So JWT just stands for JSON Web Token. It's a way to securely identify users in an API without storing session data on the server. Before we begin, I would like to thank today's sponsor, ZZZ Projects, creators of Entity Framework extensions, Dapper Plus, Back Operations, among others. If you use Entity Framework, you know how large data operations can affect performance. Entity Framework extensions solves that with powerful features like back insert, back update, back delete, and many more, fully compatible with EF Core 10. It is a great tool for building fast, data-driven .NET applications. You can check it out using the link in the description below. Thanks once again to ZZZ Projects for sponsoring the video. Now, let's get started. So for us to begin this, we want to create a model, and we'll call this model user. So we'll go to this and we'll create a model. We'll call that user, and we'll keep it simple. It's just going to have three things. We'll have ID, grid, ID, bring in prop string username, and we just bring in a password so that we don't store the passwords as plain text. So for you to register, you need to have a login and a register request. So under our data, we had a folder called details, add a class. The first one will be register request. So this will just have username and password. Don't be the hash, it'll be the actual password. And we can also have one for login request. So login request, I'll just move this to its own type. So we'll log in and register. And then for us to do the actual authentication, we need a service. So we'll create a service and just call this auth service. And what we'll do in the auth service is we are going to first of all bring a constructor, and we want to pull data from our settings, our app settings. So we'll bring in the icon configuration. For this configuration, let's bring in the field. Then we'll have a function that is going to be called public string generate token, generate token, generate, and we can give it the user we have there for user control dot. We'll use that. Then what we'll do is we want to have claims. Claims is equal to new. So this is what will be seen when we get that. We just put one claim, and this claim will be the name and username. We just want to keep it simple. So let's bring in the claims. We'll bring in claim over there. So this is what they'll come to say, this is who I am. And then we're going to create key. We'll save our key. We'll use the semantic key UTF-8 encoding. This will just get that key that we have there, and it's going to give us back a semantic key. And now we can proceed to use that key, which we've gotten there, create credentials. So set credentials is equal to new and signing credentials. We use that key that we've done there, and we use a SHA-256 algorithm. And we'll proceed to have the token. We'll save our token is equal to new JWT security token. Security token will install the package, and this token will have claims, and the claims will be the claims that we have on top there. Just give it claims. Now we're going to have it expire, so we can just add an hour, and then signing credentials. It will just be the credentials which we've created over there. So that's how a token will be generated. Then we'll just return a new JWT security token, write it on the handle. So this is able to get the user, get that claim, and creating the key, credentials, and then a token down there. But how do we get? So remember, we've got the app settings, and that's where we're doing our configuration. So we'll say we'll have one called JWT, and okay, we'll bring it down. We'll have a key, and this is where you put your key. I'll just put something like, okay, make it secure. This is a super secret key 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to have an issuer as well. Just put your app name there. Again, you want to have an audience. So we're going to get the key here, and that's what will be used to do that. I'm going to configure this in our dependency ignition container so that we wire up the JWT. So we'll get here and we'll say, okay, let's hook it up. Builder services. You want to add authentication. Okay, let's see if what it has brought. You see add JWT bearer and error there. So what do we have? Builder. So we'll use a bearer authentication. So then we have options. I want to bring in the bearer there, be obvious. Then options, token parameters, simplify that. The options is equal to new token parameters, issue of false, validate false, lifetime, won't even get rid of that. I want to keep it simple. Signing, obviously that has to be true, and the issue signing has to be new symmetric. Again, we can simplify that. What we'll do here is we're going to add that into as our NuGet package, and we'll say browse JWT. Wait for that. and here it is. We'll bring that in. Then we should be able to bring that in, and let's just bring these guys in. Tokens, symmetry encodings, bring text in, like so. So this hooks up the pair authentication. You want to authorize, you want to, before you authorize, you have to authenticate the pipeline. So add or other use authentic. Once you've done that, we need to have the logic that will enable us to register and obviously log in into our API. So add a controller, and we'll call this auth controller. So I click on controllers, select API, and this will be called auth controller. And once we have that, we're going to bring a constructor, and this constructor will need the auth service in order to function. Auth service, we can call this service, where we'll inject that. And then we just also have private static, have a list of users. We'll just know it up. Users is equal to, so just put in the new syntax there. Perfect. So we will have a first endpoint, which will be called HTTP post, and this will be register. So we'll use this to get access to that res, and we'll say public action result and result register. Then this will give us the register request, which we created, and then we'll just say var user is equal to no user, like so. The goal should come automatic, and for the username it will be request. Okay, we forgot to bring request here. Just a request. Perfect. And then this will say that register request dot password and email. Which register request is this? I think we have two. This is an identity, so we don't want the one in identity. We can remove that and get the one in DTO. Okay, sometimes these things happen. That's the one you want. To username, then register request, the password. So this is just it telling you we've simplified it. Okay, you want to hash this in a real app. Once you've done that, then you say the user we've done dot add the user. All right, we will add it to there. So we'll say users dot add that user there. Then you can return an OK with OK, and it's just say something simple. User registered. User registered. The last one will be to login. Will be another post. You can just copy a bit of that on here, and this will be login, and this will be in as well, and this will be login request. And what we'll do here is we're going to say var user is equal to, we'll take first of default of that list. We'll check the last name, the username, and password hash should equal to the login password. And if that is there, say if we check if the user is null, then the invalid conditions, but just to keep it professional, we can just return, okay, that's fine. Or else give me the token which you've created in the auth service. So we'll run the auth and say give us a token, then we can return that token. So we'll say return, okay, and the token. We have created our register and we're able to log in. Then obviously it's not in the database yet. Something we have to do. So we'll go to our context, and remember we need to bring in the user, and we'll call this user. We need that table in the database so that we can keep. And whenever you bring this, you want to run a migration. So we'll go to the package manager console and say add migration, adding user table, adding user. Then that should run and see those changes. Give us this migration. We'll say table users, then we're going to do the database. So we effect those changes to the database. And once that's done, the question you might want to have is, okay, fine. So now we have done it. How do we now secure it? We just go to either the whole API or go to the get and I'll add something called authorize. And once we do that, we have secured this endpoint. It means whoever will see the details needs to have access. So I'll run this and walk you through so the first thing you have to do is you have to register. So this is the auth. This is the repository. So in the auth, if I go straight to the repositories and go to the gate and run it, it will tell me to say you are unauthorized. You don't have access to that. So I need to go to the auth and register. Once I register, put in work, and then put admin at 123. Once I do this, it will say an error expected. What could that be? Let's check it out. You see fail there. It says unhandled exception. It can't resolve this. So you notice that we didn't add the auth service in our dependency ignition container. So you can just come up here and say before that build and say builder services dot add that service. Let's try it one more time and see. Then we can register, test the request, go to Escalova, then admin 123, and it will say user registered. So it means I am in that database. And if I go to login, I can give it those credentials, and I can say admin and 123. Once we send, and you see it says token, it gives you the token. So you can copy this token and if we now go to the repository as a get one, remember if we test it now, it will give us unauthorized, but then in the headers I can add authorization header, authorization, and I can put here bearer plus that. And once I send, it should be able to go there and give me the things that are supposed to be there. So what we've done now is we've built a complete secure API from scratch. You've seen how reward backend systems are structured, from data access to validation, error handling, all the way to authentication. This is how this is the foundation you can build on your production applications. There's a lot you can do. You can do role-based authentication, you can do password hashing, but now I just wanted to show you how you can do this. So this episode has been too long. I think we've done 12 videos in this series. We'll cut it here and we'll proceed to our next series, which will be building an MVC application from scratch. So please check, notify yourself so that you're able to see what we do. And thank you very much.